Hi there, it's Ella. Thank you for being here with me. So today was my first full day in Bali, and I'm staying in Ubud, and which is Bali, as it turns out, I didn't really know, to be perfectly honest, which is kind of embarrassing to admit, but whatever. Bali is a tiny country, and so and I was asked, well, where exactly is it? It's like, well, it's in Indonesia. So um, it's basically a cluster, kind of like a long string of islands that are mostly connected, but some of them are. Wow. I am not making a whole lot of sense right now because I was outside walking around in the market most of the day actually. So this morning I woke up, I was just sort of lying in bed for a while, just sort of like listening to all the sounds of the place where I'm staying, and just kind of, just sort of like listening to everything wake up, and also hearing a rooster crowing over and over and over and over and over. This poor rooster does not stop all day. So it was. I find it quite amusing, but you know, I'm sure that if you're here for long enough, you get used to it and kind of stop hearing it. You kind of forget about it. But anyway, um, so yeah, I had a nice leisurely morning. I had a Balinese breakfast. It was very good. It was not much. It was very light. And I was surprised at how sweet everything was. It was really good. But it was a nice light way to start the day. So then I had some. So then I did some journaling and just sort of. I was just moving very slowly, just because I can. Because I'm like, well, I'm not in a hurry to do anything. So anyway, um, and then I had to get a letter prepared for a friend of mine. So I did that, and then that was business that I needed to attend to, basically. So I did that, and then I actually did some yoga, um, and then I got dressed and went venturing out into the market to see what was there. And the market being really just the city, because there are literally shops everywhere. So I am staying on one of the streets where it's primarily residential, and actually a lot of them are, they call it homestay, but essentially they're all Airbnb. So um, yeah, so I'm on kind of a homestay drag, if you will. So, um, but it was just fascinating. It was like definitely like an assault on the senses as far as the level of noise, because the scooters are so freaking loud, and there are just so many of them, and um, just all of the people trying to get work, they're constantly saying, taxi, 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 like, need a ride, whatever, and I'm just like, nope, I'm just walking here. So it got very hot today. It was over 90 degrees, but also the humidity was super high. So I was just drenched in sweat all day, which, like, I was kind of expecting that I would be, knowing that this is a very tropical climate, and especially even though this is the rainy season, still, um, you know, it's just because it's raining does not mean it's not hot. Today it got blisteringly hot and extremely humid, and it was actually supposed to rain, but it never did. Um, so there were clouds everywhere later in the afternoon, and that actually cooled it down ever so slightly. But yeah, anyway. So I had um, a nice lunch. It was, I got a chicken curry pita, and which the pita was unlike any pita bread I've ever had anywhere. It was like, well, okay. It was pretty good. Um, you know, so I'll try a different place tomorrow. Um, and I sat there for a while because it was just fascinating to watch people. I mean, I loved people watch. So I noticed that there are tons of Aussies here, tons and tons of Aussies, Australians, and a lot of them just don't wear very much. Like butt cheeks hanging out, and like very skimpy tops and that sort of thing. And it's just like, um, obviously I'm not trying to speak for an entire continent essentially. um, but wow, yeah, that was it was interesting. And so many different kinds of people, and different people coming into this cafe. Apparently this cafe where I ate lunch was is very popular. So yeah, it was very busy. And so I noticed, just all different kinds of people. It was fascinating. But I also noticed several other things, and one of them was all of these people in a, obviously tourists, and just the sheer number of them in their cell phones, like constantly, just walking, like standing outside and just scroll, or like there was a couple that was sitting on the curb across the street from where I was, and they were just both of them sitting next to each other just scrolling. And I'm like, and like the young woman next to me was doing the same thing. She was by herself, but I was by myself. And I have not I hadn't really decided yet if I was going to get a SIM card so that I could, make international calls and whatever, and have data basically, um, everywhere I am. And that kind of sealed it for me that I'm not going to do that. I have Wi-Fi, I have roaming data, so I can actually send and receive text messages. So far, it seems to be working okay. Um, I don't know if that's going to cause me some sort of giant inflation on my next bill. I hope not, but I don't know. Um, so I'm not super worried about it. If I really need to be in contact with someone, then, you know, it's probably an emergency situation. So, um, yeah, it just doesn't, I don't know, just observing how all of these all of these tourists were so immersed in their cell phones. Really, it was kind of jarring to me, honestly. And it really made me seal the deal. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting a SIM card. I actually downloaded um, the map for all of Ubud, and actually much of the surrounding area. So I have offline maps, so I can navigate wherever I am. And because I am of Generation X, I actually know how to read a map, like, without being able to pinpoint exactly where I am by touching my screen. You know what I mean? like, find my location, find my location, find my location, you know, and then GPS magically does it for you. It's like, well, I still know how to do that, you know, manually. So, yay. Anyway, um, so something else I noticed today is that I noticed it especially while I was eating breakfast, because there was a young couple kind of diagonal from me, and the the young woman was meditating and doing some yoga moves, yoga poses, um, while I was eating, and just seeing the the straightness of her back made me sit up straight, and I realized, like, I've been more conscious about my posture recently, and I realized that my for some reason, I don't know why exactly, but my posture recently has been terrible. So that's just an awareness. You know, you can't do anything about it if you're not aware. So I've been very conscious about standing up straighter, shoulders back and down, and um, basically taking up the space that I take up, you know, instead of trying to make myself smaller, or make myself not take up as much space as I actually take up. So it's just a really interesting awareness that really came to the forefront today. So um, let me think of, I'm trying to think if there were other things. All of the shops that I went into, a lot of them had, you know, it's tough to kind of do quick math, especially if you're not good at math like me. It's hard to kind of make yourself do quick math in your head while you are considering purchasing something, because it's like doing the conversion quickly in your head to try and say, okay, okay, so how much does that mean in US dollars? Okay, let me, you know. So I got a little formula basically, and so that at least helps. But you know, and I don't know. Basically, you know, you can negotiate. You can do the whole bargaining thing. I am just not. I'm not that big on that, because, you know, as long as I can tell that the person that I'm purchasing from is not just selling wares from, you know, basically from somewhere else, besides Bali, or at least the rest of Indonesia. Um, you know, it's like, I don't know. It's like you just have to kind of use your best judgment in those cases, I think. But, you know, and so I use my best judgment, basically. um, I'm really tired. The humidity and the heat combined they just sap your energy so quickly. It's unreal. And I was out there, you know, I was out walking around, and granted, I brought, at the last second, like the day before I left, basically, I decided at the last minute, I'm like, you know what? I am just going to purchase this hat. You know, it's like, it's not hideously ugly, but it's not like, it's by no means any kind of fashion statement, okay? It's just a hat. It's just to keep the sun off my face and my ears. And so I had my hat on, and also off the back of my neck. So anyway, I had my hat on, but I also had on a cover, because even if I wear sunscreen, it's still, my skin is so pale and so, it just sunburns so quickly that I still just really need to be covered. So I was wearing a cover all day, and a hat, and I was wearing shorts. The one, like the one pair of shorts that I happened to bring that isn't specifically for yoga or physical activity. Like, anyway, so I'm like, that was good thinking. Anyway, at least I brought one pair, right? So, um, yeah. So I was just sweating bullets all day, and I like, my appetite is minimal, which, okay, I'm not sad about that. But like tonight, I was trying to decide, when I got back, I was trying to decide, do I go back out to get some dinner, or do I don't know. And so I put clothes. I got a new dress today. Um, so it's so cute. I wish I could show you the whole thing, but um, anyway. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. I should go get something to eat, blah blah blah. But then I'm just like, but I'm so tired. And then I thought, well, I mean, I really actually want some ice cream, and there's a little place. There's tons of places that you can get ice cream. Like, ice cream is very popular in like all the little marts and everything. I guess because of the humidity and the heat, it's like it's a good antidote to that. But I don't know. I don't really want to eat something that's creamy and heavy, even if it's cold. When it's that hot out, because it's like I can just feel it curdling inside of me. You know what I mean? Anyway, but I was like, yeah, I really want some ice cream right now. Right now, like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, oh yeah, ice cream sounds really good, but that means I have to go get it. And I'm like, maybe I don't want it that bad. So I decided that I would record this video first and then make the final decision as to whether I'm going to take myself down the street a very short distance. It's really not far at all, to get myself some ice cream and some more water. But that is to be determined. Or am I going to just remove my jewelry, brush my teeth, and crawl into bed for the night? And it is 7:45. Yeah, that's sounding actually more appealing than going to get ice cream. That's pretty sad. I mean, if any of you watching this who know me really well, you know that I love my ice cream. Okay? Like, don't get between me and my ice cream. So for me to like wave off walking down the street a short distance just to get ice cream in favor of like brush my teeth and crawling into bed, that should tell you something. That should really tell you something. Yeah, I'm wiped out. I will say I don't feel like the debilitating level of exhaustion from jet lag. I don't feel that. It's literally because I was outside in the intense heat and humidity for most of the day, literally the hottest time of day, which is afternoon. So yeah, I went to eat lunch at around 11:30 or 11:45 or something like that, and then for the rest until I got back here at 6 o'clock this evening. Yeah, I was out walking around in it. So there you have it. So I think I'm going to call it a night and get some rest, because well, actually, tomorrow is exciting for multiple reasons. One of them is I am having a custom mala made for myself. And so I found this place where the young woman who, it's her shop basically. She makes custom malas. You can pick the color of the thread, you can pick the beads, you can pick, the arrangement of beads, whatever. So I'm having one made for myself. And it's not expensive, y'all. If you are familiar with how much malas typically cost, they typically cost quite a bit, because there's a lot of labor involved. You put a knot, there's silk thread, and there's a knot that goes between each bead, and there are 108 beads plus the guru bead, and the tassel at the end. So typically, if you're going to purchase a mala, you should expect to pay at least $100. Give or take. It depends on the person, the seller, or whatever. So anyway, but I'm getting this mala tomorrow, and it's going to be all ruby, basically. Ruby in fuchsite or zoisite, I can't remember. But primarily, it's mostly ruby. It's gorgeous. These beads are gorgeous. And I picked out this beautiful, kind of like an emerald green thread. You'll see it. I'll show it to you on camera. Anyway, she's charging me $35. And I'm just like, I can't say no to that, okay? I just can't. I can't say no to that. So I'm very excited about that. But the other reason that tomorrow is amazing is, well, February 11th is my sister's birthday. So, happy birthday, Wendy. And, but also, the whole reason why I'm here begins tomorrow. It is for the yoga teacher training. So, the opening ceremony is tomorrow at 5 p.m. So, yeah, so lots of cool things happening tomorrow. And, yeah. I have been talking for a long time, and I know that I kind of drag things out a little bit because I'm so tired. I'm like, so sorry if it was kind of boring, but hopefully not. The people that I met and talked to today were all just super nice. I mean, of course they're, a lot of them are nice because they want your money, but you can tell the difference between someone who's just trying to get some money from you and someone who genuinely cares, and they're genuinely interested in what your needs are and things like that. I actually bought 3 pieces of clothing from this one shopkeeper because she understood. Like I was probably almost 2 feet taller than her, okay? And I don't have a small frame, okay? I just don't. So I am someone who is going to struggle a little bit to find clothing in Bali that's going to fit me. And so she immediately understood that, right away. And she was just like, so she actually went through and picked out different styles that she's like, this will fit you and this will work for you, and whatever. And then she helped me, trying on a couple of things, and finding a way to wear them that that felt good to me. And so it's like, well, yeah, I'd rather give my money to someone like that versus someone who really just wants the sale, so anyway, so it was a really fun day. And I definitely have That's the other reason why I don't want to go back out, because I don't want to deal with anybody else. I don't want to have to interact with anybody else tonight. Introvert. So anyway, all right. I have been. This is a very long video. Oops, sorry. That also probably means it's going to take like 3 hours to upload because the Wi-Fi signal here is not that great. But at least there's Wi-Fi, you know? Pretty cool. All right. So that was Bali, full day number 1. So, well, yeah, first full day. So anyway, I will definitely be posting tomorrow. I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm excited about everything. I'm excited to be here. It's like my mind is still just sort of blown from all this. So anyway, thank you so much for being here with me. Have a good evening.